Take a minute and get the team introduced for you. If you guys want to go ahead and come up front, get settled back in you guys' seats there. This will be a fantastic conversation yet this afternoon. So, with that being said, as we're getting ready to go into this whole topic of dealer management software here with the team from Ormandy, we've got Scott and we've got Shamsi with us. So, Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've really been working with the team at Ormandy, and a little bit about what you do with them.
Sure. So it's been about 5 years, and my first connection with them was actually I had an outdoor maintenance and install business, and we did outdoor kitchens and landscape design, and was introduced sort of that way. Injured myself and realized maybe a desk job was more appropriate, and really got to love the product and was committed to it. So started in the sales, and I help a little with development because I understand what's going on for dealerships and for power equipment companies. So that's a little bit about me.
Fantastic. All right, so Shamsi, you're on the team from Ormandy here, so tell us a little bit about what your role is there.
So I work in product management. My main job is to help develop the software. So I love to come to this kind of event because it gives me the opportunity to talk with people who actually use the product and see what it is people are needing, so that when we go to look at the next slate of things on the to-do list, I know which ones are the ones we should put at the top.
I love it. So I was introduced to Ormandy actually through one of our dealers that I'm working with in our dealer success group program, and they asked me, had I ever heard of this company and would I recommend them? And I said, well, I haven't actually ever heard of them, but I will look into it and I'll let you know. And at that point, I think, Scott, you and I got introduced to each other, and you guys walked through your product, and I thought, okay, this is a cool platform. This is something that we need to continue to explore and introduce to some of our other dealers out there to make sure that it's going to be a good fit for them. But one of the things that absolutely impressed me about working with your guys' team here is your guys' responsiveness to wanting to enter this world of dealerships, whether it's trailer dealers that we're working with, or outdoor power equipment, compact utility tractors, dealers out there. You guys jumped in both feet and said, we need to learn this industry, we need to learn the customer segment here, we need to learn what these dealers need and how our software can be a good fit for them there. And it really stuck out to me as something that was very, very unique here. So I'm excited to be working with you guys, and I'm excited for us to be walking through a little bit of your guys' platform here this afternoon. So again, as we're going through this, I know you guys have a great presentation on this. We're going to walk through some of our questions that we have. But outside of that, this is going to be just a fun, exploratory conversation for us to see what you guys have here. Okay? Very cool. So I know as we're going through the first question on my list that Sarah Hay gave me, because Sarah Hay is a little bit of a control freak, and we all just understand that. So Scott, tell us a little bit about one of your ideal dealers. So who's your ideal customer here?
Well, that's sort of a tricky question, because I think an ideal dealership, dealerships are all different. But a dealership that is looking at improving their operation, that they're not satisfied with the status quo, that they realize there's room for improvement. And I think we can work with that. But otherwise, every dealership does things a little differently, but there's some commonality. You want to maximize your profits. You want to do that through good inventory management. You want to do that through understanding your workforce, what you're making from your service bays, and what we can do is track that. And conversely, a dealership that maybe wouldn't be right for the system is somebody who's happy with the status quo. Somebody that feels like they've arrived and they don't want to grow. They feel like they're where they need to be. Because what we're doing is constantly evolving. Software, if it's not improving on a weekly, monthly basis, it becomes left behind. So we have an all-American programming and development team that what we do, Shamsi and I particularly, go out and talk to dealers. And what are your concerns? What are your pain points? What are your problems? Now we talk with Jeff from BCI and saying, okay, what are your problems? The matrices that you've developed, are something we now include in our software. So we want people that are wanting to improve.
I love it. Fantastic. So again, as you guys are looking at your platform, and I know we'll have an opportunity for you guys to start walking through that as we're going through today's conversation, but as you guys are looking at your software, what is, from your perspective, and James, you might weigh in on this as well here, kind of go back and forth on this, but what's the most powerful feature from your perspective, Scott?
For me, it's the fact that everything is included within a unified system. So a lot of times you might have 3 and 4 softwares that you're trying to use to manage your operation. And they might be great softwares, but if you're having to enter information 2 and 3 times, or you're not able to accurately track what your technicians are doing as far as the amount of time they're spending on a repair, then you are opening yourself up for mistakes. And so inventory management sticks out as a strong point, I think. Jamie, can you add to that?
I agree with you. I think really our inventory management has helped a lot of our customers. I definitely think that that's probably our strongest.
Right, I mean, I think we looked at one dealer and the amount of money when we did some analytics on what they were losing through poor inventory management, they could have hired another executive, actually. So
Not just a little bit of money here.
no, we're talking about nickels and dimes every moment of the day that adds up, and at the end of the day, you don't want to look at those numbers.
Yeah, it's a sad reality there for us. So Scott, kind of walk us through, the onboarding process. So what does implementation look like for you guys from the moment that someone says, all right, I'm in, Scott, I like your product, what does it look like for us to say, let's go live?
Right, so first thing, it's a partnership. And what we mean by that is we're in long term. And we have a group of folks. So what I would do, if I'm your salesperson, I'm going to introduce you to your project manager. This person is going to be with you throughout the whole process. They're going to be your main contact. And continuity is kind of the deal here. But we're also going to have an entire group. We have a CPA that is on staff with us. And they're going to help you because you're going to be doing your accounting within the frontline system. And so we are here to run you through. We have unlimited live training. And we're going to break that up into manageable chunks. If you're anything like me, after an hour, I tap out when people are talking. And there's only so much you can learn at a time. So I think the real deal is it's a partnership.
Awesome. And again, as I've been working with you guys there, I've been definitely, that stands out to me as a high priority for your entire company. How many people did we have on that Zoom call where I was walking through all of our metrics and whatnot? I think we had 6 or 7 people on that thing.
Exactly. For us, it's about expertise. So I have my wheelhouse. I know what I know. And then we toss the baton to the next person. I think ever answering something that you're not sure about is the wrong way to go.
Love it. I love it. Very good. So specifically, after the implementation process, and after we get things live with the team, and as we're approaching it from that partnership mentality there, what do we need to do to get our dealers' employees up to speed to be able to fully utilize the software?
So we have specialized training. It depends on what you're doing. So we're going to break up these trainings into manageable chunks. Your technicians in the Bay, they would be using an app that we call Mobile Connect. And what they're going to be doing, if you're going to schedule a repair, they're going to be able to look at their calendar, click on it, open up the ticket. They're going to add their parts, start their clock on this particular event. So this allows you to then pull metrics from their work. We're going to train them. It's a short training. Your technician does not need to know the rest of the system. They have a specific requirement. With accounting, you're going to probably have a few people. And we break that up. And I would say we try to schedule it according to your time frame. And so we work with you. Hey, when do you want to go live? When do you want to go into this system and really get rolling? So we're going to have a goal. Let's say we want to go January 30th. Fantastic. this is our schedule in order to meet that. And so your project manager is going to, be there to guide you through. It's not a thing where we say, here it is, good luck.
And also, full utilization of the software will not occur on day one. We have so many people who are live in the system, and they're using maybe 70–80% of what we have. It all just depends on what you need. So, for example, we have a Shopify integration. If you have a Shopify store, you want that online presence, then you might use that Shopify integration. If you don't use Shopify, then that might sit there for 3–4 years before you decide that online presence is something for you. And when you're ready to go through with it and you say, hey, I need to use this part of the system. Maybe it's rentals. Maybe you don't do rentals now, but in 6 months you decide, or 6 years, you decide you're going to do it. We will train you in how to use all aspects of the system at any time. So if you ask to use something and it's 3 years down the road, we train you in that too, and there's no extra charges for those training.
New employees are important as well. So you get a new hire, you need to get them up to speed, we schedule it, and we work with you.
Awesome. And again, I have a dealer that I was kind of doing a little bit of a case study with as he was getting onboarded with you guys, and kind of managing the implementation process from a project management standpoint there. It really kind of speaks to me. I'm a little bit of a Boy Scout at heart. I like to have a backup plan on a backup plan, and I like to know what's coming down the pipeline. So having that full implementation game plan lined up from the very beginning allows you guys as business owners to really plan around this year. So again, I'm a huge fan of not being surprised. So.
Right, and just to sort of add to that, what we do is we're going to give you some documentation. So your project manager, we're going to have a kickoff meeting. We're going to introduce you to everybody you're going to be working with. And then we give you what to expect. So Ormandy does this, the dealership does this. And it gives you, to me, I don't like surprises. So we're going to give you the Cliff's Notes to how to go live in the system.
I love it. Fantastic. So again, as we're kind of moving through this, can you kind of describe a specific dealer that is utilizing your software to the best of your ability on this, and what are they really doing well?
Well, I think they commit. So, and that's true in life in general. If you're going to do something, I think you need to commit to going all in. And because we are. So we want to learn about your operation, and then we have a solution that will help improve your profit margins and maybe help you grow, maybe another location. We're going to provide all of those tools, but a dealership needs to be ready for that, and we can walk you through that. We don't expect a company to go all in with every aspect of a solution right at first. It's a long-term process. For instance, we have an analytics tool, and these BCI matrices and reporting components can plug directly into that Insight analytics tool. It allows you to understand your operation at a glance. It takes 6 months for you to gather information from your sales, from your service, to then use this and have it be useful. We have a dealer in the South that is closest to being a full participant user. They don't use Shopify. They're not an online company. We have so many components of the solution that you can grow into. It's a tall order to use all of it.
Well, and again, I 100% agree with that. I don't think there's any software company out there that can truly claim that a dealer uses 100% of their software. There's always more functionality, more capabilities for us to stretch the software out there for us. But I love it. I love it, the fact that we have these dealers that are willing to jump in and say, let's learn about this together. Let's figure out how this can complement our business operations and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really about a partnership for us. I mean, we don't make short-term relationships. Most of our customers, not most, but we do have customers who we've had for 10, 12, 15 years. So when we work with you, we're going to be your partner. And we want a real partnership.
Excellent. Very good. So as we are kind of moving toward forward to the opportunity for you guys to show us a little bit about the platform here. Do you guys have any kind of preface conversations for you guys to introduce your platform there, Scott?
Well, this is like a 50,000-foot view, you know, and I would say to those who are looking.
We're working on mic issues there. Thank you.
This one working? Yeah. Hey. So, and listen, it's hard for me to sit down. I'm kind of a stand-up kind of guy, but we're going to just sort of glaze over a lot of things, and hopefully, if you guys have questions, we can answer those. But we like to get online and do a scenario-based presentation. So it's interactive, where we say, hey, what are the problems you're having? What is impeding you from reaching your goals? And once we know that, then we can create a scenario-driven demo that is covering those points. And it's a little more work, but I think it's good because, like I said, each dealer is an individual operation and they do things a little differently. Our goal is to say, how do you improve those profit margins? How do you get that next level of success?
Awesome.
So here's the 50,000-foot view.
Right, so if you look on the screen, you'll be seeing my screen. And as Scott said, we're not going to be able to go into a really deep dive, but what we will do is hit the high points of all the different parts of the Ormandy suite.
So what you're seeing here is a graphic representation of the Ormandy suite. It includes a transaction hub, which is the main center place where you do all your transactions. And then it has 3 peripheral
Software development. My mic seems to be going in and out.
We can have this one around. I'm a loud mouth, so.
I'm gonna push the double mic. And 3 peripheral systems as well that all feed into Frontline and make your database have information from people who are working in the field, your customers as well having access to that information. So let's go right in. I'm going to start in Frontline. So Frontline is the main place, thank you, that you do most of your work. I'm going to go right into customer transactions. And I want you to pay attention to the format of this screen, because one thing we've done in Frontline is we have made the formats of the screens very similar, so that when you're learning the new system, not only is it intuitive when you move from, like, for example, creating a quote to creating an order, but even if you touch many places in the system. So maybe you do work in order entry, but you also do purchasing, and you're also in charge of vendor invoices. All of these screens have a similar look, and that's intentional. It's to make it really easy for you to learn. So here I'm going to just go and open up a quote I created, so you can see an example of a quote. All the lines are blue on quotes. I don't know how much of that you can see on the projector, but these lines are kind of a light blue to give you a note, let you know that this is a quote. And if I've quoted the customer on this product and they say yes, then I have a really click up here, the quote button, and I can transfer that quote into an order. An order has all white lines, and you'll notice this one turned green right away. Green means I had it in stock and it's been committed to this order. So if you have inventory in stock and you want it to commit automatically when anytime an order is created, you can do that. This other line has a red S on it. That lets you know it has to be special ordered. So I'm going to go into purchasing next and special order that item. I'll just close the order and go into purchasing. Now notice that the purchasing window is very similar to order entry, except it has a green background. So if you're working on both sides, you're going to easily be able to switch back and forth and know exactly where you are. You won't lose track. Also, this window you could go and put on another screen, so if you're, or another monitor. So if you're one of those people that's like Command Central with 5 monitors, you can do that. Move the windows around and work on 2 things at once. So here I am in the purchasing, and to purchase that item, the special ordered item, I'm going to auto-generate my purchases. What that means is I'm asking the system, what do I need to buy? And it's looking not just for special order items, it's going to look for things that are below minimum that need to top back up to max. It's going to look for things that you have on items that you haven't committed inventory to and you don't have inventory available. So even if they're not marked as special order, it's going to ask you to order them. It's very smart. And you can choose all your vendors or you can just choose a specific one. So I know that was a Kubota I need to order. So I'll choose Kubota here and click accept. And it shows me what I need to order. It even shows me who I'm ordering it for. I can drill down and even look at that customer order. If I want to make sure I need to purchase it, I can even talk to whoever the sales agent is on this order and say, now it says I'm supposed to order this tractor. Are you sure that's the one that they had chosen? So once you are happy with your purchases here, you click save and it generates the purchase order for you. So notice it was on the quote. From the quote, I clicked the button and it turned into an order. And then I took that order and created the PO from it. And I didn't ever enter that item in again. So once your salesman's put that in as a quote, it can travel from quote to order to PO, and I'll receive this in and show you the magic of demos. You can receive in a tractor in 5 minutes. I can accept that in, put in the VIN number for it. When I click start, it tells me that this was special order. It knows exactly where this piece of inventory is going, and once I commit it, it commits it to that customer order. So it's not going to go into your inventory where someone can sell it to somebody else accidentally before the real owner comes and gets it. And I can even drill down and show you the order that I purchased it for. Now has all green boxes to show it's completely ready. I can check this out and tell my customer it's ready to pick up. All right, and then when I do check this in, here's my check-in, and I haven't really been showing you in many forms, but this system comes with all the forms for quotes and orders, and this is a receiving register. And if you ever want to change forms, we do that too as well as part of the service. But if I reopen this order, and the vendor invoices come in, and I need to put the vendor invoice in, I can just click one button, and now it's going to become a vendor invoice. And the vendor invoice is purple. So if you're working in a lot of areas of the system, you'll notice, I don't know if you can see the purple up there. I don't see it. It looks beautiful and purple on my screen. It's like a lavender background, but it means that when you're looking at a window, you won't forget what kind of order you're in. It also says at the top here, vendor invoice. So you can, if you're colorblind, we have other symbols and writing on there to help you know. All right. When you click approve, that's going to create your payable. Oh, I forgot to put in the vendor reference, so it's reminding me to put in the vendor's invoice number and then approve it. And it creates my payable. So that's what we mean when we talk about single entry. We entered it one time, it travels through all the different parts of the system. You never have to enter it again, so you don't have any of those kinds of mistakes.
Or the time wasting.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to waste time if you're having to enter things 2, 3, 4 times, especially into different products. So that's kind of the general rundown of the frontline system. I did just a really quick overview, just hitting the high points, but we have so much more in here. We have recurring billing, we have rentals, we have shipping modules, we have all kinds of stuff in here. And if you're interested in taking a look, do reach out to us, and we can do longer demos. We do them all the time online on Zoom meetings. So we've been doing Zoom for many years. So that's it for Frontline for now. The next thing I want to show you in our software suite is Mobile Connect, and that is the field access. So this is where your technicians can go in and do their part of the job. Usually people don't want a technician doing everything. They don't want them in the main system because it costs a whole license. So this is much less expensive, this product. If they come in here, they can go into their schedule, see what they have to do on a day, pick those events. So here's my first event. I have to prepare this tractor for this customer. And if I pick the event, I can then go in and change the status. So once I get working on it, I can change that to in process. I can add notes to this. So there's a lot of information that your technicians can do here. They can also add their labor. So if I come here to labor, I can add in my time. Most people use this now button and they just click now when they start. And then after they've worked and they're done, they click now to stop. And that will keep track of the exact time that they work. All of the time they enter here in Mobile Connect is going to go right into the frontline ticket that they're working on. So you're going to have really good accounting of what they're doing all day long. Other than labor, you can also add in parts, keep track of all your bits and pieces so that your inventory counts are correct and you know when you need to order more. And then images as well. The nice thing about having images is that this app, and what I'm showing you right now is in the browser of my PC, but it can run in the browser on your phone as well, on an iPad or any device. We even have an app for your phone if you'd rather use that than run it in the browser. But either way, on a phone, if you click image there, it's going to let you take a picture. So if you want to take before and after pictures of the work that they're doing, or anything else that you need to document what was done so that you can provide that for your customer, it's right there. All of the things that your technician enters in here, it's going to save you time, because it means that they're adding their information directly into the frontline order. When you open it up in frontline, you'll import all of the lines of the labor, all of the parts that they have added. You can review everything and even change them before you actually bill the customer.
Right. This is all in real time. So your technician, it doesn't have to come back into the office. He knows what to do. He gets it done. It's sent back to the main system, and you can invoice instant. You're ready to go, and your technician is on to his next project.
Absolutely. So Mobile Connect, that's the field technician. The next part of the Ormandy suite I want to show you is Insight. So Insight is really the manager's perspective. I'm going to put this in a full screen view for you. So when a manager is looking at what's going on in the business, they often need a top-down view, like a general view of everything that's going on. And the nice thing about Insight is it doesn't require any additional setup on your part. You have been doing the work, which is going into Frontline and entering your daily orders, your daily transactions. Your technicians have been going into Mobile Connect, they've been entering their information. So all of the data that you've been collecting is valuable. And Insight will give you a way to look at that data in a way that will give you the value that it has. So let me go in here real quick and show, for example, a labor productivity board. So this one's going to show you the average recovery rate by technician. It shows you each of your technicians, how much you're billing versus how much you're paying those technicians. So you can really see how much they are worth to you. You even, in this case, I even have a margin amount where I can see how much margin I'm making on the work that I'm billing. I can choose, this is interactive, I can choose a particular person, so I can choose Dana here, and just see what she's doing. I can even look at the individual bills, how much was billed versus how much was paid for the work that was done. So it's a nice tool that you can use to give you just a little snapshot of what's going on in your service department. I have as well vendor performance here. This one will tell you how your vendor's revenue is going, like what sales revenue you're making out of your different vendors. And it's also interactive. I can pick, for example, Mahindra here, and I can see what my revenue, cost of goods, gross profit, and margin percent are for this particular vendor, as well as compare that to my tool. So how much of my profits are coming from my Mahindra sales?
Right, and these are all customizable. So what we do is about 6 months to a year, once you've been on the system and the data has been gathered, we go through with you and Jeff at BCI. We want to know what you're needing to see. And so we customize these views for you. I think the parts matrices would be useful through this tool as well.
Other than this, I've got so many I could show you here, but let's just do a few more. I have orders by item category. So this is a particularly nice one because these categories for items come directly from your data. So however you categorize your items, maybe you have equipment and parts, maybe you've broken that down into some specifics. that are relevant to your industry. However you categorize your parts, this can then break down for you your orders by added category. So you can say, well, what's going on with accessory sales? Or in this case, rental equipment. And when you click on them, you can see what's your totals, your sales prior year compared to this year and the difference. So you can see if maybe your rentals are not doing as well as they have in the past. Or maybe they're doing great and you want to invest more in rental equipment. Some other ones that I'd like to show you, this scenario analysis is pretty cool. This one lets you select a price increase scenario. So you have a certain piece of equipment. What if you increase the price by 5% or even just 2%? What's that going to do to your profits? If you can manage to sell it at 2% higher, let's click that and see. It gives you some nice graphics to see your actuals by scenario, by month. So you can see what the result would be of increasing those prices.
Yep, better informed decisions. It means you know what's coming down the pipeline as far as your profits. Maybe you want to invest in a new location. Can you do it? The predictive analytics, I know for some people it seems like a stretch, but when you're trying to invest in the future of your operation, you need to have the ability to know if we stayed status quo, can I afford this? And so we set up these metrics for you to be able to make well-informed decisions.
As I've been working with a couple of dealers that have adopted your guys' platform out here, the insight tool here has really been the cool factor with your guys' software. It's been not just fun to build out these reports and be able to see it in real time and model out different scenarios there, but it's just a quick way for us to do live management of our numbers. Every dealership runs by the numbers here, and this is just a nice way to have it incredibly visible. Any one of your managers could walk in, look at these graphs and figures here for us, and we can have a conversation about the performance of that department, the dealership as a whole, which employees might be underperforming. It's active management by the numbers by using the insight tool here.
Right, and we look at it as sort of a partnership with you guys because how can you help a dealership if they can't pull these numbers, if they don't know what's going on? You know, so our goal is to say, here they are. So you guys figure out what the next step is.
Now we know what the numbers are, and now we can start to work on fixing it.
Exactly.
Right, so you just mentioned if you could open a new location. So here I'm looking at revenue by order type, so I can see this particular company is mostly making profits on recurring bills. But you could also look at, if you don't do recurring bills, you just see sales and service here. You could see where your revenue is coming from. Maybe you didn't know that the majority of your revenues are coming from your service department, and maybe that plants that seed in your mind that maybe opening a second service department would be profitable. Here I have revenue by location. So if you're already bigger, you already have 3, 4, 5 locations or more. I think we have a customer now with over 300 locations. So we can definitely scale up as you scale up. And then you can look at things by location. You can say, well, how much revenue is each of my locations making for me? So I know that this was a lot of information in a very short time, but that is all I wanted to show you as far as insight goes. And then I have one last thing, and that is customer portal. More and more customers are asking for access to their data. They want to be able to interact with you, and you would love to have that personal interaction with your customers without them calling you all the time while you're trying to get your work done. So the nice thing about a customer portal is it does give your customers the opportunity to go on there and find out for themselves. Maybe they come on here to request service. They can come here and say, this machine is broken and I need service, and will you fix it for me? And then you'll get an email and you can answer it at your leisure. You can contact them, set up an appointment, and all that kind of stuff. Another thing is service orders. If they've already got 5 of their pieces of equipment at your shop, maybe they want to check on their equipment and see what's going on, they can do that. They can check the order status without having to call you. They can just come in here and do it. They can also look at their outstanding invoices, make sure that they get paid in a timely manner. They can send you feedback. You can have frequently asked questions on here. So there's a very nice tool for you to give just the information you want to your customers, and hopefully a tool for your customers to really feel like they have a relationship with you. You know, it's crazy how having a login feels like you have a relationship.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think, I don't have numbers on it, but how much time do you spend fielding the call that's taking you off something that you need to get done? And this is an evolving tool. And so we're talking with dealers. What are other things that you would like within a customer portal? Would you like your customers to be able to, for instance, pay an invoice from customer portal? You know, and some people say yes, some people say no. So it's in the queue for us. And you know, at this show, we're talking to folks. What do you think about that? Is that something that you want? And this is a real important thing about what we do, is we interact with our dealers. And we say, okay, what are your pain points? This is what's in the queue for us. Is that important to you? What is important to you? You know, so I think that interaction is what's allowed us to be in business for 35 years, and we're pretty young in this industry, but we are learning, and our goal is to be an affordable, full-service dealership software that you want to keep.
Absolutely. And again, one of the things that I love about this customer portal on this here, so the reality is the next generation that's going to have the money after the boomers here, so the boomers have the money in America right now, that wealth is shifting to the millennial generation very, very rapidly. You guys are all aware of that, right? So again, this customer portal here really, to me, caters to the millennial generation. Millennials don't really want to pick up the phone and have a conversation verbally when they can do self-service. So again, the self-service aspect of the customer portal on this, scheduling, all that kind of fun stuff, you're paying invoices, it really caters to the next segment of your buying customer demographics out there. So again, it's forward-thinking. It's definitely something that you guys should consider investigating as you're looking at dealership software, is who's going to be your customer, not tomorrow, not next year, but over the next 5 years, the next decade here. And how do we cater to making it easier and frictionless for that demographic to do business with you guys? Very good. So as we're kind of wrapping this up, and we'll kind of field for questions here, but I know we've already kind of touched on these at a high level, but very specifically, how does your software make a dealer's life easier, i.e., how does it make you more money as a dealer?
Well, anytime, and I know, man, I harp on this, but anytime you can eliminate the entering of information multiple times, you're saving time. But the headache of that, say you enter it wrong. Now you have information that's wrong, and it's going into your accounting wrong. So then you need to do some forensic accounting to figure out why, or the IRS might help you with that. So the ability to simply enter information and have it flow throughout your entire process, end up in your accounting with one step, it saves you time, energy, and then more money.
Absolutely. Very good. Well, I appreciate you guys walking through this demo here. So real quick here, does anyone have any questions here for Shamsi or Scott as we're moving toward the end of this conversation here? Anyone real fast? Show of hands. All right, nice and easy, breezy there. Where can our dealers find you guys to get an additional demo here, extended conversation, chat with you there, Scott or Shamsi?
Well, you can go on www.ormandy.com, and we have a form to fill out for a demo. And like I said, that's an interactive demo where we at first get to know you a little bit, and then schedule a scenario-driven situation. Like, we want to know, do you do rentals? Some people are scared to death of rentals. Some people are making a ton of money on rentals. So we like to know, what do you do? Are you looking at selling equipment online? As Shamsi mentioned, Shopify is something that's making a lot of our dealers a lot of money. That additional revenue stream where you're selling across the country, components. So we have an integration that allows you to sell these parts in a storefront that then informs the frontline system, fulfills that order, boom, goes back to Shopify, you're shipping it out. It's opening up a whole new revenue stream. So we like to have these discussions. Where are you going? And then do a presentation.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, thank you, Scott. Thank you, Shanti, for showing us this product. We're excited about it. I'm thrilled to work with you guys. And this has been a great conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed the demo there.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.